What's up, guys? It's your boy Dorian here, back at it again with another video. And with me, as always, is my co-host Robert Butler. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, happy to be here. Happy to be here. What's up, y'all?
So, as you can see, as the title says, we are reviewing the first three episodes of season two of The Boys on Amazon Prime Video. And whoo, like it's a fire show thus far. So we're just going to review the first three. It's going to be a short review because we don't want to give any story details, anything like that. What we can say is it picks up right after the events of season one. So if you haven't seen season one, or if you haven't seen finished season one, then please get out of here because we will be spoiling some of the things that happened in the season one finale. With that being said, are you ready, Robert?
No, I am. I am.
All right, bro. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So what were your overall thoughts of the first three episodes that you got to see of The Boys?
Well, first of all, let me say for the first season of The Boys, I wasn't the hugest fan. Like, I liked it a lot, and I thought it was interesting, but it was a little too cynical, a little too dark, a little too nihilistic, and a little too. Personally, it felt a little too like edgelord y kind of vibes for me. At least for the first season. So I'm like going into the second season, even though that's what the first season kind of gave me vibes of, I was still
Right.
excited to see where the story is going to go next because it did end in a way that it does give you some interesting questions for where the characters are going to leave, right? Like at the end of the first season, we see Homelander. Spoilers for season one. At the end of the first season, we see Homelander taking Carl Urban's character, the Butcher, to his wife and meeting who turns out to be Homelander's kid. And you realize that connection. Meanwhile, you got the whole thing with A Train, his life being threatened, and Starlight and Huey saving his life. Meanwhile, everything with the deep is going on with the water as the water comes on right now.
That was perfectly timed.
Perfectly timing. So I mean, but that's just what you come to appreciate from a show like The Boys. So I was excited to see what they're going to do going forward. And with the second season, it just jumps right into it.
Yeah.
It goes like on a big scale, epic scale, pretty much from the very beginning, but still finds ways to get you to seemingly hate these superhero characters even more than you hated them in the first season. And I think partially of what I enjoyed more about the second season as opposed to the first season is that, to me, I felt like the first season was edgelordy and was humor filled, but had a very pointed commentary of religion. But I didn't feel like it had like a meaningful topic to the conversation. But the second season kind of switches the gears from religion to race in a very
Yeah.
specific and certain way. They learn at the end of these three episodes, which completely leaves you not only on the edge of your seat, but gets you way more excited for what the narrative possibilities of the season is going to be.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head they really change focus when it comes to the overall arching themes that they're tackling this season, and with it leaning more into how season one kind of made these celebrities like idol. They tried to make us not idolize, but the fans, the people in those worlds idolize these superheroes like they were celebrities. So it kind of gave us more of a view of a behind the scenes, like realistic view of how superheroes would approach being a celeb and doing the press junkets and things like that, giving us a real life view of their role, which I thought was pretty interesting, and I'm glad they dove more into it. And with all the characters that we got to see, like you said, by the end of episode three, especially with the new cast members that are added to the show, it definitely elevates it to a whole nother level. And I think it was so smart of them because they are releasing these first three episodes together before they start releasing them weekly, week after week. So the first three episodes, the end of the third episode is a perfect setup for it. Leaves a cliffhanger, and it's just like that in itself felt like a little movie. It felt like a little season of them building up to that because it came out of nowhere, but it perfectly built up, and I was just like, damn, that is some really good storytelling, story writing, just from the action, just from the suspense. I thought they knocked it out of the park because the characters, you felt more invested with these characters, and I think the cast themselves do a great job of handling the material because I think that's what really elevates it is the star-studded cast across the board. I think really carries a show because they work all well off each other as well as they work by themselves whenever they have those emotional, intense scenes that those personal issues, what I think is the highlight of these first three episodes. Although there's big action, the quieter moments where you get to really see these characters for who they are is really special. So I think they really knocked it out of the park. So speaking of just the characters, are there any highlights, any characters that really stood out to you in these first three episodes thus far?
Well, there's a lot of things that stand out to me, right? I think Storm, what's her name?
Stormfront.
Stormfront.
I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, Stormfront, or I want to give a shout out because we're going to talk about all of the cast, but Aya Cash as Stormfront, that she, like, when you have a cast member join a show in the second season and you have them like become a recurring member, I want to say she is one of the best I've seen come into a show and really make a change. Not just make a change, but elevate the show, and you see what kind of person she is, but you also kind of, you're not rooting for her, but you get her, but you're also like, why do I hate this character? But you want to keep watching her. So I thought she was a fantastic addition to this big ensemble that we already have. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that character was great.
No, it was great because when you first meet her, you're like, oh, she's kind of cool, but
Yeah.
you really get to understand that she's almost just as bad, if not worse. I personally think she's worse than Homelander. By the time we get to learn more about her, but more that we end up learning about her is to be revealed upon later episodes. But what I think was absolutely mind blowing was not necessarily a new character, but new character development, and that's with Annie. Because with Annie in the first season, she was very centered, very protective of herself
Yeah.
and of her image, and very religious and very kind, and had a very pure and innocent kind of vibe to her. And this second season, she steps it up completely. It's like she is brooding, she is borderline dark, and even though she isn't necessarily as evil as the other superhero characters, even in her monologues, you still kind of have the sense of like morbidness, of sadness, of kind of this hopelessness, especially in finding out, at the end of season 1, we find out that the Compound V not only was the creator of the Compound V was the creator of the superheroes in this universe. It wasn't they weren't naturally born. They were created. So seeing that effect on her and how that affects her and her family, and her, in the first season it was explored how distant she is from her family because of how they treated her as a super, knowing that she was manufactured and created as a whole another layer of darkness and sadness to her. So it's cool to see her character transformation, and and how Huey has to deal with that himself. So
Yeah, I thought though Huey and both. I was about to say her real name, but Huey and Annie. I really thought their characters from the when we are introduced to them at the beginning of the series, especially what the predicaments they're put in, to seeing where they are now. It's just damn. Especially like you said, Annie, just how she talks to some of the characters, because when she joins the Seven, you get to see her as this. Oh, I'm this innocent little girl, like. People try to take advantage of her, and finally when that flip switch and she's like, bro, I'm not gonna put up with this shit anymore, like I'm powerful. And when you get to see that at the season finale when she's taking on A-Train, and that kind of momentum carries her over into this season, and you just see a untapped Annie that we didn't see. Starlight is really coming into her own, and it was pretty cool to see. As the season progresses, we'll get to see more of those superpowers and more of her character develop. But at the end of season 1, their relationship, Annie and Hugh's relationship, was kind of strained because he lied to her. So we get to see how that played out and throughout the course of this season and these first 3 episodes, because it's not a spoiler or anything. They are still in communication, of course. They're still trying to look out for each other's back. So to see them try to kind of have to restart and rebuild that relationship again after what happened in the first at the season finale was interesting to watch, because it felt real, felt raw, and just seeing how they built their dynamic back was very interesting to watch. And another character I want to highlight, because I want to mention all of them, because all of them are phenomenal, and each of them do. I'm glad that Aaron, the showrunner, takes the time to really give them their own backstory, give them their own storyline, give them their own focus, even though it is a big cast. So I want to say thank you to Aaron for that. But Karen Fukuhara as the girl, she doesn't say one word, she can't talk, but her emotions, how she emotes everything, how she has to do her sign language, is just as impactful, and I would say damn near even more so, because you only have her raw emotions, her face, and I thought she killed it in these first 3 episodes. With her character, they like I said, they go into backstories for every character. They go into giving us all these give us a lot of information without it feeling like exposition, like heavy exposition. Like, it's subtle and it's beautiful, and with her character we get to learn more and just everything about her. So I thought her character specifically was another highlight, and I'm just blown away, and I can't wait to see how her story progresses. So, is there any other characters you want to bring up or highlight real quick?
Well, of course, you know, you always got to highlight Lance Alonso, who plays Mother's Milk
Yes.
in this series. He's always really a great character, and I think we get a little bit more of him in this episode, in these first few episodes too. That I think is really nice, and I also think, listen, how can you not mention Carl Urban as the Butcher?
Bruh.
He was missing for a lot of the first episode, but I think when he comes in later on, it's fun, it's dynamic, and you understand complete reasons. But you understand the complete reason why he's gone, and when he comes back into the scene, you're just all into him, and you're just ready to get back into the action. So I love it. I love the fact that this is the only superhero. I mean, I can literally say this is the only superhero show where I actively don't like 90% of the superheroes, where they're all either psychotic, like toxically misogynistic, or like sexual assaulters, even violently like racist, or like completely immoral, or like something. All of that, like some kind of stack of all of that. They're all that, and yet you're still riveted and compelled by the story. So I love what the season's doing so far, and I'm excited to see where it's going forward. So
Yeah, I definitely think they knocked it out of the park. And another person, I do want to mention a couple other people, like you said. I want to mention. Sorry, we'll cut this out. But another
yeah.
person I do want to mention is Jesse Usher as A Train. We don't want to talk too much about his character because, as you know, if you've seen the season finale, some events he almost dies, has a heart attack. They do save him, so I don't want to talk about too much about what his character goes through in the first couple episodes. But Jesse Usher kills it as always. So we'll just say that for now. I don't want to go into any details, but it's interesting to see how or when he returns, how he returns, and the relationship and the dynamic that his character has to endure now that things have changed since the end of the first season. So definitely look out for him when the show returns. But with that being said, everybody across the board definitely killed it. We got to wrap it up because we don't want to. Because I feel like if we keep talking, we're going to accidentally get into some spoilers, some details, and we could talk about the show once the show does premiere. We can actually do recaps and talk about the storyline and what we hope to see, what we expect to see. But for now, we're just keeping it short, simple for you guys, giving you our general impressions, our thoughts. So we want to wrap it up, get you guys in here real quick, get out of here. And with that being said, Robert, let's go ahead and give him a score real quick. So if you had to give it a score out of 10, sir, what would it be?
Out of 10, for this
Yeah, just out of
first
the
three
first three episodes.
episodes of season 2 of The Boys, I'm going with the strong 8.5 out of 10. I think is really, really, really good stuff so far. I'm excited to see where the story's going forward. And frankly, as someone who was a little bit lukewarm on the first season, I definitely think the second season steps it up a lot more. So I'm excited to see where it goes forward, and I'm frankly excited to rewatch these episodes again because they're fun. They're like
Hell yeah. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna just go a little bit higher because we've seen a couple more episodes past episode 3, but for now, for the first 3 episodes, I think I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. And I cannot wait to see the rest of the season. So, like Robert says, so if you're like Robert, if you're maybe a little lukewarm, maybe you like different aspects of season 1, you saw potential, you were there. This is definitely might be the season for you. And if you're a fan like me, I enjoyed season 1, so I definitely love season 2. So I think this definitely has there's definitely something for everybody. And I will say, if you did watch season 1 and and you made it, endured the action and the gruesomeness, be ready for season 2 because everything is elevated. It's gruesome, it's brutal, and it's a lot of fun. So be ready, get your popcorn, and make sure to tune in when it drops on September 3rd. The first 3 episodes drop, and then every week they'll do a new episode. So we'll be live tweeting, we'll be doing these recaps. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe whenever you do get the chance to watch the first 3 episodes. Let us know in the comments below what you thought because we would like to hear what you say. So is that fuck. Every time we get to the outro, every time I'm about to, god damn, it's like there's like a click in my head. It's like fuck up on the outro. But with that being said, Robert, where can they find you, sir?
You find me on Twitter, Instagram at DirectorRB3, and on YouTube at First Cut.
Yes, sir. And you can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec, and you can find me right here on the Geeks of Color channel. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you here for more content. Peace up, A-Town down. Ugh.
Nice.
How long was that?